What is it? Mindset. Come on, all right, so let me do this. So after I did the class last, what was it, July, June, something, late June, did anybody go and do some further research? Anybody do some additional learning on your own, some additional education, some different application of the things that we talked about? Raise your hand. Yeah, just a little? Anybody else? Nobody, huh? All right, so here's the thing, right? This stuff, surface level, because that's all that I have time for, right? This in here is not where the change occurs. This isn't where it's gonna happen. This will be a catalyst or a starter, an igniter for the change that you already seek. But the transformation will not occur within these four walls. It will occur outside of here in the application of the things that you learn here. It will occur outside of here in your education and your further research into the things that I'm talking about. One of the first things that I said from the get-go was don't take exactly what I say straight as truth. I want you to challenge it. I want you to critically think about the words that I say. If you're just sitting there just kind of absorbing it, then there's no critical thinking pattern involved in it. There's a high chance that you're not retaining the knowledge to begin with. Challenge it. Test it against your own experiences, your own mindset, your own personal view of things. Say, you know what, does that really make sense what he's saying? So mindset, if I say mindset, as it feels, how you see things. I've had a couple of people say something different, right? They say it's your experiences, period. Yes? It's from childhood or previously. It's who else said something? You said something different. What did you say?
Character.
Huh? Character. It's your character, right? How you act and the things that you say. That's what you said it was.
Stuck in your own ways.
Stuck in your own ways. Okay. So that's mindset. Is that right? Is he right? Huh? It's one of what? It's one of the mindsets, right? But what is mindset itself? What does the word itself mean? Is it your character? Is it your experience?
One's approach to life.
The filter and how you see the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a filter. Mindset is the mind's eye. That's how your mind sees the world. Does anybody think differently on that? It's okay if you do. I want you to. No? Okay. All right, so mindset, how you see the world. It's your view of it. Your view determines how you act. Your view helps you with your character. Your view has been predetermined by your experiences, right? You got the view that you have, based off of your life previous. Every decision that you've made, every experience that you've been through, every event that's happened to you has helped to predetermine your view of the world now. Good, bad, or otherwise. Once you recognize that, that's when you can begin to say, okay, if I want to change my mindset, then I have to understand the things that are affecting it. Are they affecting it in a positive or negative way? I start there. Are the experiences from my childhood affecting me in a positive or negative way? If they're affecting me in a negative way, how do I deal with them? In what way are they affecting me? Are they making me very tense in social situations? Do they make it difficult for me to speak up when I feel like my words need to be heard? How do the experiences shape who I am? And how do they determine how I see the world today? That's something, again, that you're going to have to go through and unpack on your own or with your mentor. I can't do it in here with everybody. I would love to. If y'all want to spend the next 10 to 12 hours, I'm good with it. I'll do it, okay? They might have a problem with it, but I don't. I'll do it, all right? But that's something you've got to unpack on your own or with a mentor, a trusted friend, or somebody, okay? Or even just a mirror, right? Because the person you got to convince the most, person you got to talk to the most is that one right there. Right? Because the one looking back at you, they know more about you than anything. They know your thoughts. They know the words that are said inside your head that you don't say out loud. They know the feelings that you don't show out to the world. And they know the ones that you do. They know the ones that you put out there that aren't actual, the real ones. Because we do that sometimes to kind of mask things. So, mindset is how we see the world, in mind's eye. So we started with 2 of them last month. What were those 2 sets of mindsets that we went over?
Fixed and growth, closed.
Fixed and growth, closed and open. Right, so fixed and growth, basically, what is that, Sarah?
Fixed, unwilling to see from a different point of view.
Okay.
Fixed, you think what you think is right and not willing to change.
Okay. Anybody else? Fixed versus growth. Short synopsis. Jen, what you got?
I got like how you feel about yourself, like your fears or.
That's kind of involved in all of them, specifically for fixed versus growth. So if you think of fixed, in simple terms, fixed is people cannot change.
Your own ways.
Yes, there you go. People cannot change. How you see others and how you see yourself, their base characteristics, who they are, that's it. They can't change that. That is a fixed mindset. Right? So if a fixed mindset is people cannot change, a growth mindset is
People can change.
people can change. That's it. Right? That's fixed versus open. Okay? When it comes to, fixed versus growth. When it comes to closed versus open, what is that, Cecilia?
When it's closed is what I know is the best. Like I believe my ideas are better.
Right.
When it's open, people can know better than me to be humble enough to admit that.
Beautiful. Absolutely right. Closed is what I know is best. Open is, others can know better. Perfectly said. Outstanding. So, I did those 2 on purpose first. As a matter of fact, this whole course is orchestrated in a very specific way. If you have a fixed mindset, and you feel that people cannot change, then there's no point for you being in this class. If you have a fixed mindset, there's no point in being in this class. Because this class is all about transformation and changing and bettering yourself. Bettering yourself requires you to change. And the further along that you feel that you have that opportunity to change, the further along in a growth mindset that you have, the more opportunity and the more ability that you have to achieve that transformation. Right? That's why we did that one first. Open versus closed. If you have a growth mindset, but also a closed one, yeah, you want to grow, that's great. But if you're not willing to listen to anybody, then again, it's pointless. The words that I'm saying is going in one ear and out the other. Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter if Bill Gates up here himself was saying stuff. Or some other, guru or rich billionaire, Elon Musk or something, right? Doesn't matter what they were saying. You're gonna do what you do anyway, right? You gotta have an open mindset. So that's why I went to those 2 first. These are pretty cut and dry, positive and negative, right? Fixed versus growth, open versus closed. The next 2 are not quite so straightforward. If you notice, I did the colors thing for a reason, right? Most things I do is for one reason, one purpose or another. So inward versus outward is the same color. I'll get into why. And then prevention versus promotion, put a little extra spice to it. Outlining. So we're just gonna see the first couple of things. So what is prevention? It's up there. Save is best. Hey, there you go. So what is promotion? Yes. Okay. Versus reward. You wrote that down, didn't you? Cheater. N-word. Don't say it. N-word is focus is on me. Outward is the focus is on others. Okay, growth through others versus growth through myself. And you'll see what I say, what I mean by inward versus outward. Neither one was really positive or negative. I'll get into that. Hey, John, will you do me a favor? Will you grab my bag out of the office, please? Everybody can see that now, right? Duck and the red. Yeah. Okay. Hey, keep up. Everybody getting all these notes? Gotta be quick. That's the rehash. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, sir. You get all these fancy toys, and then you won't need to pull them out to play with. Anybody got any nails? Never mind. I got it. I hope that charging thing's in here. Nope, that's not it. Must have been the other one. Ah, there it is. You see where it went? All right. I can walk all over the place. All right, so have we seen this dude before? Huh? No? What does he look like? Abraham Lincoln, right? Looks like Abraham Lincoln. Who else do you see here?
Oh, see another person underneath the beard.
Underneath the beard?
Yeah.
Right there?
Right there.
Yeah, you're right. What else? Huh?
One under the nose.
One under the nose. He's upside down, huh? You see the eye, little hair, little mouth right there. Nose. Huh?
One under the hairline.
Back of the hairline right there. There you go. Everybody see those now? Those faces? That's a sharp eye. You helped everybody out with that.
I had to turn my head.
Any others? This last one's real tough.
The one above the eye.
I know that it feels like there's something there, but it's not there.
Back of his neck.
Yeah, that was the one she pulled up to the hairline. But I'm glad you got. Oh, you talking about this one or?
That one and then the one under his beard.
Yep. So there's 1, 2, 3 that we've identified. Are there any others?
Like in between the eye and the hair. Looks like there's one.
Up here?
Yeah.
No. Anything else? Michael? You see it?
Here?
Huh?
Here?
Nope.
No.
How would you see, where's the face in the ear? Help me out with that. Wait, you just guessing now? I'm like, oh, the ear, no, the nose.
I don't know. Right up there, the hair where it kind of curves.
Right here?
Yes.
No.
But there's like an eye,
I know.
and a nose, and a mouth.
It kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
It seems like there should be. I mean, you could definitely try to make a just deformed child out of it. All right, listen, that's it.
So,
That's it. There's only 3, right?
uh,
But we were looking for something more.
the imagination, I
Huh?
can more.
The first one would be.
The first, well, yeah, y'all got them from the get-go, so I'll give you that. So, here's a little deeper tidbit, right? So while I want you to take the opportunity to see, a multitude of different ways from looking at something, eventually, that's all you need, right? If you keep looking and trying to find a different way to see it and so on and so forth, you're just gonna get yourself confused and start guessing and start doubting yourself and everything else, right? So, we take the moment to take a step back, see it from a couple of different ways, and then move forward, make a decision. Okay? Because we could spend all day thinking, right? How frustrated is that other person going to be when you're standing there?
The poor
Right?
child in there.
Take a deep breath, take a couple of seconds, see it from another perspective, and then, respond from there, okay? You spend too long and they're gonna be like, hey, are you okay? So yeah. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, so. Inward versus outward. Now, technically, in the test that y'all took, prevention versus promotion comes before inward versus outward. I have switched this for a reason. Self-protecting fears of an inward mindset. What might those be? If an inward mindset is the focus is on myself and my growth, what might those self-protecting fears be? This is where the critical thinking comes into play. You yourselves go through these moments of growth and opportunities where you have been given feedback or given criticism. What are your fears in those moments?
Well, your fear is that it's something personal, it's something you have to take that accountability. So your fear is that somebody's gonna recognize that and verbalize that to you.
So you'll feel like you'll be personally attacked.
Or
Like when they're-
that you failed, that they're essentially gonna tell you you failed, or that's gonna be the feeling you get from that feedback.
Okay. And not that the event itself, the mistake that you made, to focus on that, but rather to focus on you,
Right.
like you yourself. Does everybody understand that? So when you're given feedback, sometimes we take it personal, we take it as the person is attacking us, right? That the accountability that we're being given is a slight against ourselves, as opposed to the behavior or the action, right? When we are able to objectively separate ourselves from the action, but still take responsibility for this. Yeah, like that, press a button. And then we're able to actually accept that accountability as growth for ourselves. But if we accept it as an attack on us, what are we gonna do if we're attacked? Yeah, you're gonna be defensive, you're gonna shut down, you're gonna build a wall, any of those things, right? But if we are able to separate that and see it objectively, but still own the mistake itself, then we can learn from it. Inward mindset, fears, missing out, getting passed up, being unseen and unloved. They're committed to being at the center, getting ahead, being seen, loved. Now, as we go into inward mindset, I want you to know that this is not a negative mindset. But it's not necessarily a positive one either. So for me, myself, when I first started out, I had a very, very strong promotion mindset. I had a very, very strong growth mindset. Those 2 points, I was all the way to the green, all the way to 7. You know, my young 20s, late teens, I was all about it. There was nothing that I couldn't do. There was nothing that I wasn't willing to try. There wasn't any risk that I wasn't willing to take. It didn't matter. You know, I put myself out there. If the opportunity presented itself, I didn't care if I was ready for it or not. I went for it. I didn't care what kind of pain or uncomfortability was involved with it. None of that mattered to me. You told me that there was a reward at the end of it, or you told me it was simply just a challenge. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, I can do it. And then I would. And if I failed it, I would do it again. If I failed it, I would do it again. I would not stop until I made it happen, whatever it was. Now that mindset did quite a few things for me. I was 18 years old going into the Navy and boot camp. I was one of the youngest cats there. My division had 80 plus personnel in it. ages all the way from 17 all the way up to 35. And in the very beginning, within the first few weeks, they were tossing out jobs, right? They're saying, hey, we need a yeoman. Hey, we need someone who's an admin person, by the way. We need someone for ship staff. We need someone to sing the cadence, all this, right? One of the things that my recruiter told me from the get-go was, hey, remember what Navy stands for? I was like, what's that? Anybody know what Navy stands for? Anybody? No? Never again volunteer yourself. Okay? That's what my recruiter told me. He's like, listen, just keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, and just do what you gotta do. That's not who I am. That's sure as heck not who I was then. Right? With the strong inward mindset that I had, my promotion through the stinking roof, my growth through the roof, I was like, whatever is the highest position, the hardest to get, whatever, whatnot, that's the one I'm going for. So, the recruit petty officer, which was basically the highest a recruit could get, was offered up. I said, hey, I'll do it. And then I had two of the other guys in the barracks too who went for it. One was a 32-year-old guy, another one was a 35-year-old guy. He was a big dude too. Holy cow. He was like 6'4", just hulking, just like solid. And I'm not. So, but I didn't care. As a matter of fact, the bigger you were, the more I wanted to go after you. I had a small amount of Napoleon syndrome. Just a little bit, ever so much. But I went for it, and I got it. They put an 18-year-old in charge of the entire division of people where the average age was about 25, right? Because of my inward mindset. Because of how strong I was on myself, on growing myself, and the growth and the promotion I was willing to go for, the risks I was willing to take. And I was a crazy fitness fanatic too. So, nothing really was uncomfortable to me. The problem with that is, and it took me many, many years to figure this out, is that I found it difficult to relate to others. I found it extremely difficult to have empathy for anyone else. In my mind, I was like, this is what it takes to get where we're going, to be successful. Why are you not willing to do this? Why are you not willing to do what I'm willing to do to get to that point? You're smarter than I am. You're bigger than I am. You're better than I am. You know more than I do. You're more talented than I am. Why are you not willing to do the work? And I would hold that against them. I would hold their weaknesses against them, and I would call them out on it. And I would feel that I was better than them because of it. It's extremely difficult to relate to people when you feel that they are beneath you. And I kept with this, and I couldn't understand why it was difficult for me to motivate people more. That's who I was. I was the motivator. That's who one of my nicknames in the military was, the motivator, because of how insane I was with the stuff that I did. I went against the entire Marine Corps when it came to their own personal grappling tournament. And I beat every single one of them in my weight class. Let me specify that, in my weight class. Why couldn't I get these people to motivate them, to change for themselves? Why couldn't I do that? I was willing to do it. Why aren't they? And if you were a leader of mine, or you were in my way, I would run over you. I don't care about the colors on your shirt. If I felt that you were weak, I would take over your section. Didn't make me a whole lot of friends. Navy wasn't real big on that. They liked their chain of command a lot. And eventually I realized, you know what, this maybe isn't the place for me. Because if they're allowing this guy to just take a test and get to that point, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of real leadership capabilities, and that's just me saying this, then this isn't an organization I want to be a part of. I feel like my growth is just going to be staunched here. It's going to be just non-existent because I can't get through that ceiling. So I took that mindset with me into the civilian world, and I kept going with it. I went into fitness, I went into MMA, I went into starting my own business, all these things. I was a hustler. I was working 2 and 3 jobs at the same time that I was trying to run that business. And again, I would have people that I would want to motivate, that I cared about, that I was like, hey, listen, this is what we got to do. Okay, let's go. And when they weren't willing to, I'd leave them behind. Good, bad, or otherwise, that's what I did. Because I didn't see that helping, I didn't know how to grow them properly and at the right time. I didn't realize that I was the one, even though I was the one who was motivating them, I cared about them, I wanted the better for them, that I was the very one who was holding them down. Because I was calling them weak. I was saying that you don't have what it takes because you're not doing X, Y, Z. I didn't realize at the time that people change when they're ready to change. That it takes their own volition, their own willingness to do so, their own realization that, hey, I'm at a point where I'm tired of being where I'm at right now. The discomfort of where I am is too much. I need to change. I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't realize I had to understand people to truly motivate them and to help them to get to the point that they wanted to get to. And it took a pretty strong catalyst when I was about 25 years old in order for me to finally see it. I had come to a point where I had lost most of my close friendships. I was on the verge of losing my business. I was on the verge of losing access to my son. Because of where I was. And in my head, the whole time prior to that, I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice everything. I'm willing to do what it takes. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to get there. I don't care what it takes. But then the pain of things really started to catch up to me. And what I began to realize that end point, that result that I'd been fighting for this whole time, wasn't really what I was truly wanting. What I truly wanted was for these other people around me, these people that I cared about, I wanted them to be built up. I wanted them to have better lives. I wanted them to succeed. And the only reason I was doing what I was doing was to pave the way and to show them that it could be done. And it doesn't matter if you don't have if you're not the smartest one in the room, or if you don't have all the education in the world, if you don't have all the experience in the world, it can still be done. And that's what I wanted to show them. Yes, of course, go ahead.
Lisa's calling me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I had finally gotten to that point where on one side was the my drive to succeed, and on the other was the pain that I was feeling through all these years built up. And I finally had to make a choice, I had to make a decision. Otherwise I was going to truly sacrifice everything, and for what? I would lose the very things that I was fighting for. So it was in that moment I realized, oh geez, I got to understand where these people are coming from. I haven't taken any time to do that. People are where they are for a reason, and they believe the way that they do for a reason. The things that they've been through, the events that they've been through, have caused them to see the world in that way. And I have got to understand why people do what they do if I truly wish to help them. So at that point in time, that's when I began to switch from an inward to an outward mindset. And so I went all the way to the other side, because I don't do anything in half measures. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing. In this particular case, it was a bad thing. Because again, now I was sacrificing everything of myself. I was putting myself last on everything. I was giving everything to my wife, everything to my kids. You know, I was supporting her in everything she wanted to do. I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. You go for those jobs. You go for that promotion, right? I'll take care of everything at the house. I'll do all the cleaning, the laundry, and everything else. I'll take care of the kids. Don't worry about any of that. You seek your dream. You do what you got to do. My buddies, the same thing. Hey, you need some money to start that up? I got you. Okay? You need me to, spitball some ideas? You need me to come move some stuff? You need me to come set some stuff up? Whatever. I gave myself away as much as I possibly could. And then I wondered why I fought depression so much. For a majority of my adult life, I've gone through seasonal affective disorder. Took them 10 years to diagnose that, but that's what it was. And it would get worse, progressively worse every year. I would have to fight through that. And I couldn't figure out why I was constantly having to do it and why it was getting worse. Well, when you're doing everything for everybody else and you're not doing anything to take care of your own mental health, your own physical health, your own spiritual health, all of this, that's the place that you get to. So I had to balance it out. I've spent the past 5 to 7 years doing that, going back and forth between the inward and outward mindset, trying to find that balance. And what I realized is that there are certain points where you have to focus on something for yourself to recognize a negative trait or a negative idea that you're putting out there that you may not realize. If you see people around you acting kind of off to you, and you don't take the time to ask, hey, is there something that I'm doing that is producing this result in the environment around me? Is there something that I'm not doing that is causing that? What could that possibly be? So taking the time to ask myself those questions, and then realizing, oh, okay, well, my intense personality kind of puts people off a little bit. So maybe I should calm the hell down a little bit, especially early on, till people get to know me a little bit, and then we can take it up a couple notches, right? So it's not so much hiding myself as it is just kind of understanding that I need to be a little bit more reserved early on in order to better reach the people that I want to reach. And then at other points, when I realize that even if I'm not ready, even if I don't feel that I have the ability or the knowledge or intelligence or anything like that to help people, I still have the opportunity. And it's that opportunity that I take even if I feel I'm not ready. So when it comes to an outward mindset, or inward rather, your self-protecting fears are missing out, getting passed up, being unseen, unloved, being at the center, getting ahead, being seen, loved. This was the big one for me. It's getting ahead. Just want to do whatever to get there. Behaviors underestimate the good in us. I sure so did that. Overly critical of others. 100%. Willing to step on or over others. If you were in my way and I thought you were weak, I would run you over. Don't value others. Because I saw a part of their weakness, I did not give them the opportunity to show the value that they truly had. And I did not give them the opportunity to present, hey, I can change, I can make this happen, I can be even more valuable. I didn't give them a chance for that. Less sensitive to others because I was not sensitive. Because I did not try to understand, I lost them. I lost the ability to affect them in a positive way. These are things that I look back on and I shudder of the mistakes that I've made and the people that I could have helped, that I could have been there for, that I could have made a positive impact for, but because I acted the way that I did, I wasn't able to. Inward mindset is not necessarily a bad thing. You've got to take time to focus on yourself and see what it is that you yourself can improve. But at other points, you've got to realize that your growth happens a lot of times when you seek to help others. Whether you're ready or not, whether you feel like you can or not, if you have the opportunity, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to them to give it a shot. Your outward mindset, your empowering fears, not being ideal self, letting others down, not seeing loving others. Committed to being the ideal self, helping others get ahead, seeing and loving others. behaviors, seeing the best in others, seek to understand others, seek to lift others, show compassion, contribute to greater good rather than seek personal gain. Who here feels that they have more of an inward or more of an outward mindset?
Inward.
Inward? Why?
I don't know, I think I have my way of how I kind of approach it, how things should be done. Maybe some give the room to see that there's other ways it can be done.
Okay. And why is that?
Probably because I raise boys.
I get that completely. Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm a mother first before anything. And I think it's I think it's a protection, toxic trait.
You said the word.
Oh, I'm very aware of it.
All right. And when you say that's a toxic trait, in what way does it have a negative effect on those that you care about or yourself?
Permission to speak freely. Because it makes me seem like she's really bitchy. She's a bitch. But I'm not. Just have a certain kind of things now.
And then, so the other C was that, in your mind. Okay. And in your mind, if you see, or you believe they see it as that based on how they react?
Around my edges.
Okay. Is it based off how they react to you? So do you think
Yeah,
that's,
probably.
okay.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself as that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you taken the time when you're in one of those zones? Because I know what you're talking about. When you're in one of those zones, you're going like, all right, you go do this. This is what we're doing right here. You over there, you go ahead and take care of this. Hey, no,
Yes.
put that down. Put that down. Come over and do this.
So me.
Okay? So in those moments,
Yeah.
have you ever taken a step back or thought afterwards and ran through the
Always
events?
afterwards.
Always afterwards.
Always afterwards, I'll be like, oh, I could have said that different.
Okay.
Oh, well. And then.
Oh, well.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. You know, I'm being honest.
And that's good. That's good. If you're just, kind of, saying, oh yeah, I'm good, everything's fine, it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
Right? So, do you want to change that?
To a degree.
And when you say to a degree, what do you mean?
I like that.
I don't want to become a pushover. I don't want someone to think that I don't take my job seriously. Or I have a very strong work ethic that when I don't see it in someone else, it pisses me off. So I feel like I don't want to sacrifice those in that area. But I could be, I don't know, I just feel like, I say I could be nicer about, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, but in the end, it still has to be said. It's facts over feelings.
So, this actually goes a little bit further back to more of the closed mindset. The fear that you said was that you fear not being seen as taking your job serious.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when we talked about a closed versus open mindset, the closed was more about, do other people see me as someone who takes their job serious? Do other people see me as someone who knows what they're doing? Is that perception of me that, hey, better not take her off, just follow and do what she says and everything's good to go. Right? The perception, how they're seen. Whereas the open is more concerned with the work that is done, with the value of the results that occur from the work being done. And that's physical work, like the numbers being put in and everything else, plus the relationships that are built in the process of it being done as well. So if you want to change it, however much you want to, the degree is your choice. But if you want to change it, change what you fear. If you fear being seen as a pushover, and you're going to do the complete opposite, you're going to be committed to a behavior that's going to say, I'm not a pushover, as a matter of fact, I will run you through. Because I had that same one, I get it. If you change that fear to, am I contributing enough to this project so that others understand my value through that contribution? Am I doing enough to help others, to support others, to get this job done? Am I doing it the right way? Am I doing it the best way? Change the fear, and you have the opportunity to change how you are. The work still gets done. The difference is how you and your team work together. Now, this isn't going to happen overnight. As a matter of fact, you're going to catch yourself afterwards and like, oh, I guess I could have right there and yeah. And you'll see. You know, talk with who's your mentor? Is it Tim?
Mm-hmm.
It's Tim. Okay, and he's pretty good about this type of stuff. And take one of those situations that you've had where you've kind of reverted back to your old self and doing it in the ways that you have been. And I'm not expecting you to try to change anything in that moment, but be cognizant. See more than just what you're focused on, but see the people around you too and how they're reacting to the way that you're correcting. And once you begin to notice that, then it will affect you in a stronger way. Because a lot of times you don't see it, especially in the moment. In the heat of the moment, when our adrenaline's going, okay, there's the objective, there's the results, this is what we gotta get done, right? So you don't really see the people. So that's the thing that I would challenge you with more than anything else, is that in those moments, try to see the people. I know, God. Where was that? So, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that very, very much. Right? That's what I get for trying to segment everything out. So just make it in one single block. Try to be fancy. I had everything up there, didn't I?
We did.
Yeah. I went too far. So there's that guy. All right, so that's an inward mindset. Who feels they have more of an outward mindset? Ashley? It's a little. Hi. All right, so tell me how you have an outward mindset.
Well, the empowering fears isn't so much it that everything committed to the behaviors is.
Okay, hold on. Forgive me, my hearing is absolutely terrible. Can you speak up just a little bit?
Okay, so for me, like when it comes to the outward mindset, everything that's in the empowering fears isn't necessarily at all for me, but the committed to behaviors is 100% me. Like it is putting others ahead of myself, even to my own detriment. It is making sure I understand people, looking for the best in other people, and completely overlooking myself. It's 100% putting people ahead.
And what kind of state of mind does that put you in? So when your strength, your energy, your time, your resources, everything else is devoted to others, how do you feel about yourself at the end of the day?
It's pretty good. It makes me feel good to put others first, but sometimes it makes me feel empty. Sometimes you're like, what about me? Because ain't nobody checking on you.
And no one can match what you're doing.
Right.
Because that would mean giving their entire self over to you the way that you're doing for them,
Right.
it's extremely difficult to match. And then when they don't match it, you feel like, well, you're ungrateful, aren't you?
Sometimes you get a little resentful.
You're right. And that's exactly what happens. God almighty. Okay. I might have a little bit of experience with this on both sides of it. But yeah, when they don't match what you're doing for them, you're like, I'm showing you love. I'm making you lunches. I'm making you dinners. I'm taking care of you. I'm taking you shopping. I'm giving you presents. What more do you want? I just want you to love me. Is that too much to ask? Is it, Paul?
Red Bull.
He needs more? He does. I only have so much to give. And that's the truth of it. We only have so much. And if we give everything away to everybody else, I give a little bit to you, I give a little bit to you, I give a lot to you, Mr. Humphries. Okay, I give a little bit to you, Paola. Eventually I'm left with nothing. And yet I still need to grow myself. If I don't have some kind of balance between an inward and outward mindset, then I'm going to be completely off kilter. If I have too much of an inward one, I don't care about enough about everybody else or anything about them. If I have too much of an inward mindset, and I'm still hollow inside. Because I want to grow. That is my purpose in life, is to help others, to train others, to grow others. I don't care about being the center. I don't care about being the best. I want the others around me to be better than I ever was. That's what I want. But if I have too much of an inward mindset, I'm not going to be able to reach them. If I have too much of an outward mindset, I don't feel strong enough about myself because I haven't spent any time on myself. If I'm all the way over here and I'm completely focused on all others, I don't build myself up enough to have the confidence to continue doing so. You can only go so far with this before you burn out. So the balance must be had between an inward and outward mindset. That's why the colors were the same at the beginning. Now y'all can see the picture. Did I go backwards? Which way does it go?
There you go.
And boom. 80. There it is. So what do you see?
8 faces.
Huh?
So 8 faces.
I see two faces.
You see two faces?
Mm-hmm.
You see Harvey Dent up there?
How would that?
Get out. Who doesn't know who Harvey Dent is? Sarah.
See? Look, look at all my people that joined me.
Jennifer. God, somebody please enlighten these people.
These are all Marvel fans.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
He's Two-Faced.
Yeah, it's Two-Face. That's it, Batman.
Okay.
Come on. The white light, the
I
white
don't have
light.
time for you.
Alright. So, which way is this guy looking?
Whoa.
Huh?
Whoa.
Oh, right.
I don't know how he looking both ways.
Right? But everybody can see that, huh?
Yeah.
That is so wicked. When I saw this, I was like, that is epic. I absolutely love it. And again, I don't know how it's happening. I just love this image. Alright, hold on. I do it again.
Yeah.
See, that's what I get for trying to be fancy.
Practice.
Alright, so before I go to this next part, prevention versus promotion. I got 97% of everybody's numbers from the mindset assessment. So for the first three, as a collective, you are all in a low growth margin. 5.4, 5.5 in that area as a collective. Okay? The one that y'all are all in more of the negative, or as a collective, and more the negative mindset was prevention versus promotion. What is prevention versus promotion? The mindset stuff, the basic thing. The thing I put up on the first slides.
Safe is best.
Safe is best. That's right, prevention. Promotion,
Risk is reward.
Risk is rewarding. Very good. Very good. Before I get into this next part, I would invite you to take this opportunity to ask yourself if you really want to do this. Because this next part is not going to be easy. You're not going to like it. There's a good chance you won't like me very much when we're done. With that being said, I won't hold it against you, and I will completely understand if you don't want to stay in here for this part. And if at any point in time you feel you need to get up and go, you're more than welcome to. I went backwards again. I know I did. Prevention mindset. Self-protecting fears with a prevention mindset. Who here enjoys winning?
Who enjoys winning?
Winning, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Tim.
Yeah.
When what sports did you play? Football?
Football.
Football? When you had a game, say it was against a rival or something, what were your thoughts going into that game?
My thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make every tackle.
Every time. What was your spot? What was your position?
Linebacker.
Linebacker? Ah, jeez. Were you a Mike linebacker? Were you right there in the middle?
I was Will.
Oh, okay, okay. You got the guys trying to run to the outside. Okay.
Oh.
You got some wheels yourself. All right. What were your thoughts before the game? What were you thinking about before besides the tackle?
I can't take the wrong step. Can't misread the plays. Can't get tied up in the block. I can't get beat on the outside. I can't get ran over. I can't get burnt. Can't get shook. I can't call the wrong play because I'm calling plays to the whole defense. I gotta make sure my whole defense is aligned. I'm the team captain. This is your whole job. You made me the middle linebacker in the second defense, but this is your defense. So if anything go wrong and the play get busted, well, that's all it's gonna be. Yeah, it was deep.
That is absolutely perfect. So, the things that you said there, did anybody notice how he said them and what he was saying?
I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Alright, so one of the fears that you had as that Mike linebacker, as that captain, is you feared losing.
Oh, that was,
Instead of looking at it like, I'm going through much passion on the outside, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
that was said, but.
You're right, you can't go choke.
Hey.
But you know what? When your brain hears things, when you say that type of stuff to yourself, it doesn't hear the can't part. It's like it just hears I'm shook. I'm gonna get trucked. This is what's gonna happen. It hears that word.
And his defense, when we was in that position, you saying I can't because your coach is telling you if you can't, somebody else will.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you always saying to yourself, I can't. That's
Yeah.
right.
Or maybe
So that leadership part right there on his part, on coach's part, is like you won't get shot. You're going to shock him, or you're gonna knock him out. You're gonna take him down, right? Anything. Yeah. So it's been awesome if he had changed his mind a little bit. That would have helped him out a little bit. And you probably played something similar. So yeah. There you go.
He played defense too.
Yeah.
State champ, though.
Hey. So yeah. Prevention mindset, having problems, mistakes, losing, pain, and discomfort. These are the fears that are protecting us. By having the fear of pain and discomfort, it keeps us comfortable, it keeps us safe, it keeps us content, we're fine where we are. We're fine doing what we're doing. We can find joy in the stuff that we're doing and who we are currently. I don't need to necessarily move outside of this. Why would I take a risk and take the chance of getting hurt? Whether it's, mentally or physically or anything like that. Why would I take that chance when I'm pretty good right here? Pretty happy right where I am. Why would I take that chance? Oh, you want to give me a promotion? Oh, that's great. Wait, I have to go through interviews and I have to learn more about stuff and being involved in a whole other environment. You want to bring me onto a different shift and all this. That anxiety's going up just thinking about it, right? I don't need that. I don't need that pain or discomfort. I don't need all that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm the big fish in the little pond right now. I'm okay. Having problems, making mistakes. That's a ridiculous question to ask. It's rhetorical. Anybody ever made a mistake? Yeah, of course, you all have, right? Who enjoys making mistakes? Thank you, John. John enjoys making mistakes. Anybody else? Huh?
I can't say I enjoy making a mistake. I have 3 daughters, so I can't say I enjoy making a mistake, but I learn from the oldest one to not to make the same mistake with the second one. Or, I learn from each one of them.
Right. So you make different mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good, as long as it's not the same one. Tried that didn't work. I feel you. 3 daughters though, man. You're a brave soul, sir.
Yeah, and my brother both can't wait for it.
Seriously?
Yeah, all of them.
I tell you what, I'll trade you one. Now I'm boys.
I want to give them away. My girl's catered to us.
Oh, okay. I say that most days. Say that most days. So, mistakes, are they a bad thing or a good thing?
Can be both.
In what way?
It can be a good thing, a learning curve. You make a mistake on your job, you learn from your mistakes in life.
That's how things got right. People make mistakes.
It's part of the
You're
growth
always
process.
gonna,
Just not repeat it.
You're like, whoa.
not
that's
repeat
serious.
it, but you're always gonna learn from, just like when you're raising your child, the way you grew up, you wanna try to make a better life for your child, so you're gonna do it different than what your childhood was like. I mean, your childhood could be perfect, but you could have made these mistakes, so you're gonna try to teach your child not to make the same mistakes as what you made. But sometimes your child is your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you do, I mean, a child is a sponge. They absorb everything that you do. So.
Yeah,
you
but I
gotta
don't
be
touch the
careful.
stove.
Well,
And you can tell them, hey, don't touch the stove.
And
Hey,
they'll-
don't touch the stove. Hey, don't touch the stove. By the 4th time, you're like, you know what, screw it, just lick it.
But it's just, I mean, you learn from your mistakes, and sometimes a bad thing can be the mistakes have consequences.
So, being willing to take the chance that you might make a mistake. And when you go into a new arena, or you go into a new job, or a new shift, or around new people, there's a good chance you're gonna make mistakes, right? And sometimes the person telling you that you make a mistake isn't going to tell you in the most optimal way. They're gonna tell you, dude, what the hell are you doing? I already told you one stinking time to only let out the ones by 31, right? Why did you let out every single thing? You just screwed over stinking non-serve outbound, right? You have no idea the negative impact that you've had in this entire organization because of the mistakes that you made. Now, some people are like that, right? Right? Even now, you can feel it a little bit, right? The discomfort that everybody felt because we've kind of been in that similar situation. We've had somebody coming at us like that.
Yeah, we on defense mode now.
Right. But see, this is it right here. This is it. He can't control me. He can't. I'm gonna come at him whichever way I feel like I gotta come at him. And when I say I mean just people in general, right? but he can't control how he reacts to it. He can absolutely be defensive. If he is defensive, he's like, you know what? All I'm gonna focus on is just how ugly this guy was, how rude he was. Who the hell does he think he is, talking to me like that? Okay? He's not all that in a bag of chips. He's not all just because he got on a different color vest. He thinks he can talk to people in that kind of way. Nah, screw that guy. And that's all he's thinking about, if he chooses to. Now this is tough. This is extremely difficult because either way, your emotions are there. Right? When you have somebody come at you in that kind of way, your emotions are there. Even if they're just telling you about your mistake, the emotions still rise themselves. Because we're human beings, we're gonna feel like, oh shoot, I made a mistake. We're gonna feel some kind of way. Right? It's amplified when somebody comes in that hard. The ability to separate your emotions, still have them, but the ability to separate the emotion from the material will determine your maturity level when it comes to your emotional intelligence. Right? This is the biggest difference. The ability to still learn from the ejected material. The words that he said, you know what? I did jack up. I understand now why it's so important because of how it affects the rest of the organization. And that's what I have to improve upon. You're still going to feel that kind of way, but you get to determine if it affects your ability to learn from that mistake. Right? Now, I've just said that. Hell of a lot easier to say it than do it. But the more that you practice that, the more that you absorb feedback from the material that it is and separate the emotion from it, the more that you practice that particular method right there, the better that you will get at it and the faster that you will grow, the more efficient you will learn. You've got to be able to take feedback.
Having that open mindset,
Huh?
got that open mindset.
Absolutely. Gotta
That's
have
right,
it.
you go home and say you lost that job, you got that open mindset.
Yeah, and preferably a buddy who will let you stay a place for a bit. Hey man, how you doing? Yeah. Shoot. I do. It's not like you go either way. It's just arrows up and down.
You're not turning your remote.
I'm not like turning this. I'm like, is it more comfortable this way, or is it more comfortable this way? You know, and that's what I'm doing. I'm over here playing with it. Is that a voice of laser?
I'm about to say,
Yep.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so laser pointer. If I do down, boom, there we go.
There you go. Alright.
All right, committed to prevention mindset, avoiding problems, playing it safe, ensuring comfort. This is where you all get stuck. You want to play it safe. You want to just be comfortable. You're good where you are. So you avoid the problems. You avoid taking any chances that are going to put you in a possibly negative area. Right? You avoid things that are going to possibly say or make you make mistakes, or where you're going to have mistakes. So you just avoid it completely. You don't go anywhere near it. You see the options up there to get a promotion. You see the job postings. Whether it's here, other companies, whatever. You get the call outs from your managers. Hey, I need somebody to come do this project over here. Who wants to do it? Oh, sure, I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna raise my hand. Mm-hmm. What if I look like a fool in the process? Right? What if I don't really do well with it? What if and by the time you get through all your what if statements, everybody else has already left. They've already chosen 2 or 3 people who are going to do it, and they're all gone and doing it. And you're still standing there asking yourself what if questions, right? And that's where a lot of y'all are, is asking yourself, well, what if this happens, and what if that happens? What if it doesn't really work out the way that I think that it will? And what if it's not really the best move for me? What if when you stand there? You got to make a choice. You got to make a decision. This goes back to the image that I showed a couple ago with the 3 faces and the 1, right? Or we kept looking to see if there was something else there. Eventually, you got to make a decision. Be like, nope, there's 4 faces total, and that's what we're going with. And we're going to go with option C, just to choose something. It seems the best. So yeah, so we avoid our problems. We play it safe. We play the game that we know. We use the pieces that we know. And we do this in our personal lives. We do this here at work. We don't try to move beyond that. We stay in our lane. We stay right here. This is the lane that we know. This is a nice, smooth road. The only problem is, if you're wanting to grow and you're open to learning new things, then there is no lane. There is no box. It is a self-made thing that you have put yourself in and that you keep yourself on. Whatever box that you feel that you have to remain within is not defined by the position that you hold or the vest that you wear or the title that you have or anything along those lines. It is a box that you yourself have given or allowed others to build for you. You've allowed your perception of the world to say, this is where I am, this is who I am, I'm only good enough to this extent, I can only do so much, I've got to learn a lot more before I try to do anything else. You tell yourself these things, and you stay right inside your box, and you stay right in your lane. Get rid of the box, and get off the lane, because there is no lane. It's something that you've made. As a matter of fact, what there actually is a stinking mountain range. That's what's actually there. What there actually is a giant forest that's covering this mountain range, and there's nothing but cloud and mist, and it's freaking freezing cold up there. And up that way is the way that you want to go. You want to get to up the mountain, because that's where your progress is, that's where your growth is. But it's risky. It's difficult. You're not going to like it most of the time. You're going to find yourself uncomfortable more than you are comfortable. You're going to come across situations that you're going to doubt yourself considerably. Do I even belong here? I don't know what I'm doing. So you start making your way up the mountain. Let's say that you do. And let's put it into the perspective here. Right? You're climbing up the mountain. Let's just call it here. Right? Mountain for you guys going up through, say, through your ranks. Say you go for a lead spot. So you start going up the mountain. You're like, yeah, I want to grow. I want to do this. So you take the first step. Boom, that's the most important one, right? So just start. Okay, stop questioning yourself and just go. Go for it. Put your name in the hat. Okay, say I want to do it. Put your resume out there. All those things. Start up the mountain. You go for the lead spot. You don't get it. Okay, this is no big deal. I didn't want that one anyway. I'll go for the next one. You go for the next one. You don't get it. So, some people will stop at that point. I'm like, well, that's 2 entries that I didn't get for this thing. Then obviously, that is a sign that I'm not either A, supposed to do it, or B, not even supposed to be here. It's a sign, obvious. This is a conversation that we have with others. It's a conversation that we have with ourselves. And regardless of whether it's a lead position, an AM position, anything else. Obviously, I'm not supposed to be here because I didn't get it. Or maybe you just haven't pushed hard enough yet. Maybe you haven't grown enough for yourself. Maybe you haven't been willing to take the chances that you said that you were willing to. Saying something and doing something, 2 completely different things. You can want it all stinking day long, but unless you put the work in behind it, there's no point to it. You gotta put the work in. You gotta be persistent with it. Because this mountain, all it's doing is challenging you. It's asking you, hey, do you really want this? Are you sure? I tell you what, why don't you go ahead and quit right now? You missed the lead spot twice. Maybe you went for an AM role. You missed that one too. Who do you think you are trying to be a leader in this spot, huh? That's not you. You are good at what you currently do. You're an amazing picker. You're an outstanding QA person. You can solve any problem that comes down there. Good for you. That's where you're comfortable at. That's where you're good at. People love what you do. Why the heck are you trying to get up here when you're so good at what you currently do? What's up there?
Rope.
Huh?
Rope.
You say broke or broke?
Growth.
Growth, yes, growth. I'm deaf, brother. You gotta. Right, growth is up there. But listen. Oh no, I can't get into that yet. You almost got me there. You almost got me there. Oh, jeez Louise. Laser pointer. Is that it? Down the bottom. I was so close to doing it again. You're going up the mountain, and your voices are going to tell you you don't have any right to be here. Keep the status quo, stay where you're at, stay comfortable, stay happy. You don't need this aggravation. You don't need it. You're good where you're at. Right? Obviously, you don't need to go for an A or low. You don't. You're going to tell yourself that. And you're going to tell others, you know what, I'm perfectly clear. Prevention mindset, you're not going to take the risk. Some of you will just look at the mountain all day long and look at the beauty of it and look how awesome it is. And be like, how cool would it be to be up there? How awesome would it be to have that other vest, to have that position? How great would it be to lead a team? God, that sounds so good. And you just look. And as you're looking, you maintain the status quo. The status quo, that's your box. That's you staying in your lane. That's you being content wherever you are. Being okay with it. And to be honest with you folks, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with being exceedingly good at a particular position and enjoying it. My dad's been an electrician for 30, 35 years. AT&T. Well, Bell South, Southern Bell, AT&T. I got that out like 12 times. But yeah, he's happy as the day is long, sort of. He's had chances to go into management and to raise himself up. But he had certain fears that kept him in his spot. And he convinced himself, this is where I want to be, this is where I'm good. I know everything here, I know my job is secure, I know that the union's got my back and all this, that, and the other. And I love my father very, very much. You know, he saved my life. But he has a very strong prevention mindset. And there's nothing wrong with having this mindset. If this right now is where you want to be a year from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now. If the chair that you're sitting in now is where you want to be a few years from now, keep this mindset. Because you can expect that you'll be exactly there. The reason is, this is what growth looks like. Why, you thought it was going to be all pretty flowers and a meadow and butterflies flying off about and everything? You thought it was going to be all that? That is not growth. Growth isn't just a rainbow and a field full of daisies. Growth is hard. Growth requires you to look into yourself and say, what do I need to change here to better myself, to better others around me? What do I need to do to raise us up? What can I do? What is possible for me? And then, as you ask yourself those things, then you act upon it. And this is the hardest part right here. This is the hardest part. Is acting. Because I can plan all day long. Man, I'm the best planner in the business. Okay? I plan out trips across the world. I can plan out $1 million, how I'd spend $1 million. I can plan all that. I can think about it. and come up with some great stinking ideas. What does it take to actually do it? The promotion mindset, empowering fears, not making progress, missing goals, and that last one, not fulfilling purpose. If I could get one thing for the people of this building, regardless of their level, their current, their vest color, anything, anybody who is within this building, to realize that they have purpose, they have value. For most people here, this isn't going to be your last stop. Maybe somebody hangs out for 6 months, a year, a couple of years. You'll have a couple long timers, right? You have a few people who remain around for a while, but for the most part, people move on. And because of that, they don't think that they should have a purpose. They just come in, they get paid, and they go home. There's nothing wrong with that. But having a purpose, understanding your value, that will make more of a difference in yourself than anything else that I've said thus far. Because when you work with a purpose, you think with a purpose, you move with a purpose, there's weight behind it. There's a force behind it. And it's not just empty words. It's not just half-hearted action. Purposeful movement says, I'm doing this for a stinking reason. I may not always know where I'm going. I'm going up the mountain. I don't know where I'm always going because it's covered in mist and trees and all other kinds of obstacles and junk. But I'm going. I'm moving. Something hits me, something knocks me down, that's fine. I'll go to the side a little bit, maybe a little bit of a lateral move. Maybe I go to a different department, and then I continue growing. I continue striving. I continue moving forward. Maybe my car gets jacked up at some point. Maybe something happens in my personal life that sincerely affects me on a soul level. What am I going to do then? Most people, I'll just get knocked down the mountain and call it a day. It was too much. It was too much for me to handle. Couldn't do it. And what they'll end up doing is start blaming others and other events and say, I'm not where I wanted to be because of him, her, or some event or something along those lines. They weren't able to face something that looked like this. The difficulty and the ugliness that you have to face sometimes. Sometimes it's the ugliness within yourself. The realization that I've got to make changes if I want to get up the mountain. Because otherwise I'm going to fall prey to those voices again and tell me that I'm not good enough. I'm just going to listen to the words that they're saying. And the people that in my life who have told me, hey, you know what, I don't know why you're doing all that. Yeah, I mean, what, you did some college, maybe you did no college, you barely finished high school? What, you think you're gonna be somebody? No, I don't think so. You're gonna remain the same spot that you have been, and you're gonna call it a day there. That's it. Those are the voices that are gonna tell you those things. You're a shy person. You think you wanna lead people? No, who's gonna listen to you? What good ideas do you actually have? Do you have any good ideas? I don't know. But you're gonna begin to doubt yourself. The higher up you get on that mountain, the higher that you go, the more difficult that it becomes. The colder that it gets, the more painful that it gets, and the more the mountain's gonna ask you if you really want it. If you have a promotion mindset, and your empowering fear is not making progress or not fulfilling your purpose, then you're going to be committed to making progress, reaching those goals, and fulfilling purpose. That word committed is pretty particular. We've seen it all throughout this slide right here. And we just kind of tossed it off just as being part of it. But it's significant, especially here. because this is going to be something that you'll have difficulty with. Because once you exit this room, all the highs of it and everything else, and the talk and everything that we've been talking about in here, is just going to be kind of a memory. And you're going to be left back with your own thoughts. And you're going to be presented with the problems that you have and the difficulties that you have, the obstacles that you have. And the first course that you're going to do is revert back to your old way of thinking. So you're going to have to ask yourself, what am I truly committed to? Am I committed to fulfilling my purpose? And what is my purpose? What am I doing this for? Why am I putting myself through the pain of going up this mountain? Why am I putting myself through the difficulty of trying to lead others and trying to better myself and trying to learn more? What is the point? You got to figure that out for yourself. I can't answer it for you. Leha can't answer it for Jennifer. You can't do it for your sister. She can't do it for you. As close as y'all are. Right? Now you can challenge yourselves all day long. And y'all work amazing together. Love it. But you got to figure out your why. And keep going. And fulfill your purpose. Anticipate problems, take risks. What is right, how is easy, persist, empower. We've seen persist like 2 or 3 times throughout this whole deal. As part of the whole being committed, right? How can we anticipate problems? William?
Pattern.
Huh?
By seeing a pattern.
By seeing a pattern? We can anticipate problems by seeing a pattern?
I mean, majority of them, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What if there's something new?
Something new. Roll punches.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah. I mean, it's new, it's unexpected. So you don't know what's really to do. But most importantly, if you dissect a new problem, half of that problem you probably would know how to adjust to it. And the other half, you got to figure it out, I guess, by trial and error, or actually, going around asking and involving other people on this particular problem that you don't know about, so you can get well informed and prevent it the next time you see it.
Yeah, and you're right. When I say anticipate problems, anybody ever been buying furniture? Yeah, bedroom suits, small dressers and all that, right? Yeah. So you go in there, you pick out the one that you want, they ship it to your house, or you take it with you, and you set it up, and it's boom, it's there, right? And you anticipate for that dresser to work exactly how you want it to. When you pull the drawer, it should come out. When you put it back, it should go back nice and easy. You shouldn't have to find the grooves and jimmy it and then shove it back in there, right? Unless you're, shopping at an antique store or something like that. That I get, okay? But if you're going brand new to the store and it's like fresh, you're not anticipating any problems, right? Anybody ever gone to IKEA? Are you anticipating having to put this sucker together?
Yes.
Yeah? Are you anticipating you're gonna curse and cuss at least 50 times throughout the process?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, kids, get out of the room. I love you, but Daddy needs some time to put this together. Okay? They stay in there for like the first 15 minutes so you get frustrated. Like, I did exactly as the directions told me to do. I followed it to the T. It made sense. I did exactly what you said. You said turn it this way, put it, the holes are the other way. So then you turn it, you gotta take some stuff apart and redo it again. But when you go to IKEA, you're anticipating problems, right? Because you're anticipating having to put that sucker together. And there are 1,000 memes about IKEA itself.
Not a 40-piece puzzle, it's a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Right, yeah, yeah. So, the way that you anticipate problems is you seek new things. you seek new growth. And you tell yourself it's not going to be perfect. It's not greener grass. It's not, the best thing since sliced bread. There are going to be problems. I'm going to go for this promotion. I'm going to get it. But the world's problems aren't going to be solved. All my problems aren't going to be solved by just me, putting on a different vest or getting paid more money or whatever and whatnot, getting new responsibilities. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to have more problems. Right? So you have to anticipate that. Because if you anticipate that you're not going to have any problems and you do get that role, and all of a sudden you're completely overwhelmed, you're like, well, I thought my life was supposed to be better because I did this. I thought it was supposed to be easier. No. No. Take risks. If there's an opportunity or a chance for you to do something, give it a shot. Anybody ever seen Yes Man? Okay, don't go that far. I mean, there's a limit. The whole balancing thing that we were talking about before with the N word versus I word. Yeah. When I say take risks, okay, be smart. Okay, but don't count yourself out of every single one, thinking that you're not good enough, or that you don't know enough, or that maybe you'll fail. Okay, if it's a risk worth taking, then do it. Don't cut yourself out because you may not be good enough. If it might kill you, then yeah, I get it. Don't take the risk. My dad went skydiving last weekend. He said, hey, you want to go? I was like, hell no. But it's safe. Uh-huh. And you know what? Maybe that would be good for my growth to jump out of the plane.
Perfectly good plane.
Huh?
If it ain't crashing, don't jump out.
I mean, I get thrill seekers. I do very, very much. I've been there. I've done it. Okay? I've done some crazy things in my life. Right? But I had at least a little bit of influence over the things. I jump out of a plane, I'm worried about, this giant plastic paper flap or whatever that I've got to control. That's all I've got. That's it. And some straps around me. Okay, that's nice. Nope. I'm good. I'm good. Maybe that's the next stage of my growth is where I jump out of the plane. Maybe I just need to go to Fort Benning, Georgia and start there first. If anybody doesn't know, that's jump school. For pretty much all ranches. I send everybody there. Yeah, take a risk, people. Take the smart ones. Fulfill your purpose. Find out why you're doing what you're doing. Find out why you're actually here, what the whole reason behind it is. Because if you don't, you get partially way up the mountain towards your goal, and you get hit with something, it's gonna come tumbling right back down. Got to have your purpose. Now, what time am I at? What do we got? 1:30. That was pretty good.
I mean, I don't know how you count time, but.
Listen, I did one on S5 that was like 5 or 6 hours. Like it was a long time. We took one break though. We did take a break. Yeah. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. All right. So, real quick. Does anybody have anything to say about the stuff that we went over today? Lovely. So do the work, okay? We're gonna put up Evan. Where's Evan at? Where'd he go?
I think you would have to go back up.
All right, no worries. So Evan's gonna put up a weekly test. How many of y'all looked at that test for this week? Okay, a few people. All right, so on Mondays, just look at your teams, okay? Does everybody know where the resource room is? Who doesn't know where the resource room is? Okay, you have a laptop of your own. Resource room is right behind here. In that resource room is a laptop specifically for y'all, okay? So you log on there, you can check the emails that I've set up for you, you can check the teams that I've made you all a part of. That's where we're gonna send our communications. When you log on to Exonify, don't just click real fast. Okay? Take a second to read the messages, all right? Because that's where we're trying to get it out there, because that's the only thing that we could use, right, from the get-go, right? So check your Exonify, wait a second, we're gonna put out messages there, okay? Do the tasks. We also going to have another assessment that I'll be sending out after S5, S4, S5 class. So make sure y'all get that done. I'm going to tell you to get it done on shift. You do what you gotta do, but I'm telling you to get it done on shift. You do what you gotta do. Okay? Is there anything else that I was missing? I feel like I'm missing something. One particular thing especially. Dadgummit. I'm gonna kick myself afterwards too. Maybe somebody in particular. No? I don't think so. Do y'all have anything, guys? No? Yes. First couple weeks of the new month is when we're gonna meet you, okay? At any point in time, you see one of us, see one of the mentors about, flag us down, talk to us. You got a question, ask us, okay? Any one of us, doesn't matter, okay? We're here to help you out, all right? We're here to mentor you, and we're going to keep that promise to you one way or another, okay? That is my purpose. That is what I do. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I truly feel like. I'm hoping that each and every one of y'all, if you're at the level that I'm at with some things and you're above me on others, I'm hoping that whatever we can do here with this program, that all of y'all go way past me in as many ways as possible. And then I'll go into another group and I'll do the same thing. But I want y'all to succeed. And what that success looks like is growth, is progress. It's not an end thing. It is the journey itself. Okay? I guess that's all I got. Does anybody have anything else? No?
Only thing I got, we'll put the sheet over here. If you guys want to VTO out, come sign.
Yeah, you're good. I do, I had it, and then my computer went off. Oh, oops. I was still recording there at the end, that's nice.